What up, y'all? Josh and EC here once again with another quality video. Yes. Hopefully you guys can hear us regularly.
Yeah, clearly. The last quality conversation, we had some technical difficulties with the audio.
I'm still trying to figure out this little machine, okay? Normally when I do these podcasts individually, it's just a USB. But now that I have this connector, they got all these dials and stuff. I'm trying to figure that thing out. I've been trying to figure it out ever since we started Quality Conversations.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
I'm just not going to touch it no more.
I was going to say, I remember the day because I was on my way to like an appointment and you called me like, bae, the audio is effed. I was like, what? Our last quality conversation was really, really good.
And we were spitting.
We were spitting gems. And I was like, use the camera audio. It's going to suck, but we can't let it go.
Yeah, honestly, that was probably the smartest thing because I was like 2 seconds away from just like
scrapping it all.
I was like, dang, man.
Yeah.
We lost it. But then, better half, bright side. Mm-hmm. We make such a good team.
We do. It's
kind of scary.
It's scary, yeah.
It's kind of scary.
It is.
This whole time, we always thought like we needed a team to do all this stuff, but like somehow right here has been the team.
We made it happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm personally building my own team, but he is actually a part of it. Like formally speaking, I have been building a team for myself since December. So are we giving little updates now?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Give me a little update.
So yeah, if you watched my weekly vlog that I posted on my YouTube channel yesterday, that was me showing my first team meeting of 2022. So I now officially have a manager. I've had a manager since, actually, I was going to say this time last year, but not even. I didn't sign with her until like March. And then I had to go through like a almost 3-4 month rebranding process. And then the brand deals started to come in towards the second part of last year. So for me, I feel like
you didn't even get a full year.
I didn't even get a full year managing her, but
so
we went hard.
See.
But we finna see. For real. But okay, so I got my manager, right? And then how Josh kind of in my head really became like formally a part of the team is the brand deals in fourth quarter during Christmas and holiday season for me last year. It just got out of hand, y'all.
It did. I literally saw the frustration on her face. Like couple nights, tears.
Yeah, it was draining. It was literally draining because the thing is, the people, and hopefully I'm talking in this nice enough, but the thing is, I don't think that a lot of people really understand. You got this thing on your lip. Understand the influencer hats, because it's more than just the influencer itself, because as of right now, we're the ones on camera. When this camera shuts off, you're the one that edits it. Well, you're the one that handles it.
Here's the thing.
What?
So most people don't understand because they think that we're only doing the social media part. That is the case if you have a team. We never had that.
We never had that. So saying all that to say, during that fourth quarter for me last year, it wasn't me just trying to make like organic content, like just easy content for my YouTube and my Instagram. It was like, I have these brand deals that are also requiring me to come up with a concept. So, and for those who don't know, it's almost like going back to school a little bit with these concepts, because it's more than just telling them like what you're going to film, what you're going to do. There were some concepts that I had to like say what I was going to wear. We had to come up with a script before even like
they killed me with
actually
the exact
doing
ice cubes.
They wanted exact so did a brand deal where it was really important, like the type of cup that it was going to be in, the type of ice that we were using, and like the equipment to make like it's so, and they want to know everything before you start anything, and then they have to approve that. So that's one step of the process. And then actually creating the set and the aesthetic for the content that you're going to film for the brand. If it's something like at home, what do you want to say?
God forbid they want revisions.
God forbid they want revisions. And then most of the time too, like this also teeter-totters because I have a pretty successful both YouTube and Instagram platforms. I can get brand deals on both or be juggling brand deals with both, which was also happening during that time. So I would have something for Instagram that requires like an Instagram post, 3 Instagram stories, and something for YouTube that requires 3 to 5 minutes of me talking about the product or a full day, like about 10 of them, y'all, in a matter of a month and a half. And I was saying all that to say that's when Bae stepped in like,
you need help.
What you need from me. And I'm so forever grateful. You've always been like that throughout my whole career, because we were together when I started my career, when I first started it. Like, my first ever YouTube video was with this man. So I think it's always so dope and beautiful that a lot of you guys have got to see our relationship evolve into what it is today, because we started in college dorm rooms. But yeah, Josh came in clutch, especially for, I feel like I can talk about it now because it's already out, but the 1800 deal, I feel like, is when you really started to like be like, what can I help you with? I got you. Because he pretty much did it all. Like, you came up with the setup, the script for it. We went to Target to get
all the supplies.
Right. And I feel like, did we do that during Vlogmas? We had to have. Because that was in December. Yeah.
We was bagging it.
So, and I think you even edited it, found the background music for it. Really, for that one, all I had to do was show up, ultimately. And that was just, I needed that in my life exactly at that point, because I was literally drowning. And that was, again, just one of the many that we ended up doing together during that fourth quarter last year. But I started to realize, like, oh, okay, I low-key need this man. Where I'm at in my career right now, I feel like other times when you help me out, it's kind of like, oh, can you help me with this? Now it's like, nah, I need you. What's your creative take on this? How can we? So in terms of like sets and stuff like that, I now refer to Josh as like my creative director. So it's interesting because we already worked together like for our couples brand, but now it's like he's working with me on my own personal brand as I'm building a team. You've always been like my confidant and stuff as well. So like if it comes to hiring new people or like a new idea that I have, I run it by him as well. So got that set. Then also I have a project manager now who happens to be family. So that came in clutch. My cousin Isabel, she's actually from my dad's side, so my Nigerian side, which I love so much because she's been so helpful, not even just like business and career wise, what's going on with my brand, but also like with us getting married soon and like the details of that and bringing that culture in and stuff. So I'm so excited about that. She is a heaven sent angel. And then video editor. As of right now, that's pretty solidified. I showed in my weekly vlog that I posted yesterday, our first team meeting her in person. We had a Zoom call, we had a phone call, I think, and that was our first time meeting her in person. Kelly, great person, great spirit, great energy, and that was something too that I wanted to make sure I had around me as I'm building out this team. People that just have something you can't buy. Yep. You know what I mean?
You can't buy someone's genuine want for your success.
Like they just care.
Yeah, can't buy that.
That was the biggest thing that I was trying to keep in mind too as I was starting to kind of like form this team around me. But it's so beautiful because 2 of the team members no, 3, if you want to count my mother. She's actually our personal assistant. So when it comes to like helping us meal prep or like washing fold clothes and just that like busy work, a lot of busy work, a lot of day-to-day stuff that like sometimes it doesn't feel like we have time to do because we are juggling literally 3 brands right now. Yeah. And trying to plan a wedding and all that other stuff. That type of stuff comes in so clutch. So like that was my biggest thing this year. I knew for me to be in a way better mental place and have more mental clarity, I needed to start outsourcing and putting the weight on, I don't want to say on other people because
it's more like distributing the weight. It's like dispersing the weight. You holding a plate by yourself versus 5 people holding a plate. Like we can all hold this together.
Yeah. So even the titles that I just like named to you guys, these were all things I was doing 100% by myself for the last 5 years.
Surprised you don't have more gray hairs.
I know, right? So even like before the manager and stuff, when it came to brands coming to me with different opportunities, I was the one that had to email back and forth with them, try to negotiate. Like they might come in lower than I want. I say this, like the legality behind it, the contracts, all of that. I had to handle all of it by myself, as well as the concepts, being the person that films the video, edits the video, the thumbnail, like. It's so many hats.
Yeah. And it was
so many hats.
I figured at some point you'd reach that breaking point.
That burnout, yeah.
I think like a year ago, I was like, so what about a team? Like, are we going to start talking about this? But like, I think that was a very quick conversation. And at that point, you still had. What?
Go ahead.
Like your talons.
Yeah.
On your baby.
Well, 100% that. And I was going to say, in my head, I thought that a team was manager. And that's the thing too, like none of this is a blueprint. There's no blueprint. There's no exact guideline of how to be successful on social media and what are next steps when you're trying to transition from amateur to businesswoman or businessman. Yeah. So in my head, all these years prior to having management, that's all I heard people say, like, yeah, I have a manager that handles that. I have a manager. So in my head, I was like, oh, okay, once I get a manager, I'm good. Then I get a manager, things are Gucci for a little bit.
And then
she kept warning me. She was like, it's going to get busy. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. I was like,
I want to be working.
She's like, it's going to be. So fourth quarter was really that reality check of like, oh.
This is what busy looks
like.
This
is what she means. And that, like, juggling and trying to balance that, there was no personal life happening, in my opinion, for me. Like, I didn't feel like my life was my own at that point. It was straight work, open my eyes, work, till I close my eyes, work. And, like, that's such an unhealthy balance to be in. And I think as I'm explaining all of this to you guys, it's probably making sense in terms of Vlogmas, why Vlogmas was the way it was. Literally, I feel like maybe that week before Vlogmas started was the last brand deal we turned in.
Yep.
So we were working since
the day before. The day before
I think
Vlogmas.
You're right. Yeah.
We turned in the brand deal so 2 days before Vlogmas. I want to say November It was 31st, so I guess November 30th. Mm-hmm. Turn in the brand deal. Mm-hmm. November 31st. We have to film the intro, outro, all that for Vlogmas.
Yeah.
We shoot that from the hip.
Yeah.
Good shot though, because we did that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we do that. You know what I'm saying? But we do that. Then the next day, it's day one of Vlogmas, and we were supposed to have this whole like rollout. We were talking about, should we decorate, should we not? And then we're like, you know what? We're just behind, and we need to be
honest. Yeah.
I mean, she cried right before the video started.
I was gonna just say that, and I don't think a lot of people know that. I think I touched on like an Instagram live or whatever. But literally, Vlogmas day one, we started in the car. We reshot that intro or that initial like, hey y'all, welcome to Vlogmas, at least 10 to 15 times.
It was.
And I broke down and cried about the fifth or sixth time.
Yeah.
I could not be who I'm even showing up as today. Like, what up? I didn't have that in me because I was just so drained.
And like, you honestly pushed through it because I volunteered. I was like, look, we can just
have to do it.
We ain't got to do it.
I know.
We can just, it is what it is. And I'm sure they would understand. But then you're like, nah, we're here.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
We're
committed. And I feel like you just kind of needed that moment to just like throw the weight off your shoulders, because I feel like it was just sitting on your shoulders, and you're like, look, I need to release something.
Yeah.
I gotta let it go.
And even with that, I wasn't really able to be as present on my personal platforms during that month as I would have wanted to.
Yeah.
But I knew like if I tried to stretch myself any thinner, I was gonna break, because I already felt like I was at a breaking point anyway.
Yeah.
But as a form of me trying to take control of my life, because that was kind of an ongoing conversation we were both having a lot with each other towards the end of last year. It was kind of like, all right, I now see the problem. What are you gonna do about it? Basically, at this point, I had to like woman up and be like, all right, this is where I'm stressed out at. This is where I could use help in X, Y, and Z. So now what are the next steps that need to be taken? Because I didn't want to go into 2022 with that same mental space. I just felt like it was a cloud over me.
Yeah. And
I'm not a cloudy person. I'm pretty like bubbly and like, well, not bubbly, but I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person. Like my mother's energy. You think I'm bubbly?
I personally think you match my energy very well. Yeah. So like, I feel like bubbly moments.
A stranger was to meet me, I'm not gonna be really bubbly.
You have good stranger defense.
What the hell is that, man?
Stranger defense? Everybody should have a little bit of stranger defense. It's like, you're not gonna give your full self to somebody off rip.
Except for beauty game members.
I feel like
if I meet y'all in person, I'm like, hey girl. But
now, you have much better stranger defense than I do.
Yeah.
My stranger defense is actually quite low.
Yeah.
If we were talking like 2K ratings, I'm probably at like a 30.
What is it out of?
Out of 100.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm deep in the like no defense, because I'm just like curious, and I'll have I get on the elevator with random strangers and be like, what's up?
Yeah.
So what's your plans for the day? Like, we're gonna hang out or something.
Right.
But we're not.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah. So stranger defense is high, but when they get past the stranger defense, you got a great bubbly personality to like let loose. So I feel like you got that in your back. Now, you said this. I feel like I'm interviewing you right now, because
really?
like I'm letting you take over. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? So, in making your team, so how did you start determining what parts of your team that you needed?
Well, like I was saying, I didn't know that I needed you in that sense until all those brand deals came fourth quarter, and I was like, I literally could not have finished this without you.
So it was more like a need base?
Yeah. So to start with that, because that's the thing too, because there's no blueprint or outline to this, you don't know what you need. And you don't even know that what you might in your head think you need is even a role, if that makes sense. So like, even with what Isabel is for me, I didn't even know that was something that I could access from somebody. Do you know what I mean? Until I received the players' cards to what I needed to go, you know? So, but yeah, starting with you, when you did the setup and I was just able to walk out here, I was like, oh,
It felt good.
That felt good. Because all I had to do is now perform. Like, well, I don't want to say like,
if everybody, fake, I feel like it starts taking away that chain link. Instead of saying like, I have to do every job, you delegate that job. So like, when you're creating your team, I think one thing that you did really well was like, what areas do I not want to be a part of anymore?
100%.
Like, okay, you spend hours a day editing. So it's like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. That needs to be a team player. Mm-hmm. So give that job to somebody else.
I was going to say, some of you guys might have saw my Instagram story towards the mid or late December. I had hit y'all up asking, like, if any of you guys are a photographer, videographer, or video editor, hit me up in my DMs because I was on the search.
Yep.
And I wanted to at least put that out there for a beauty gang first before I just completely tried to like outsource on Fiverr or like some random stranger, because I thought it would be dope too. Like if it's a beauty gang member or somebody who's a supporter of mine, they kind of more than likely already know my vibe, my energy, instead of having to try to teach somebody
and
that. What?
They genuinely care.
And they care. And I luckily enough, because, you know, came across Kelly. So that was just, it's so crazy. Also around that time, I remember getting, you know what? Okay, now we're really going to bring it in, because they don't know that Vlogmas day that you drew the bath for me and kind of like gave me a whole like pamper evening.
Yeah.
That was because those were one of those days where I was just stressed and I just couldn't.
Yep.
And I remember in the bath, I was having a conversation with God. There's been a couple moments in my life where like I just had this breakdown conversation with God. and that's not the only time like I call on him, but they always stick with me because it's like I get super emotional. Like, look, I need you right now. And I don't know. I don't want to get too deep in what? Thank you. I don't want to get too deep in terms of my spiritual side, because I feel like that's very like I cherish it and it's personal. But what I will say is like whenever I get in those moments, I kind of feel the Holy Spirit moving. Mm-hmm. And whenever I end up having those type of moments, shortly after, it's like something switches in me, in my life, where I'm like, okay, he heard me. And that's when Isabel came around. Mm-hmm. And then that's when Kelly hit us up. And then like, so it's so interesting.
Yeah.
But I definitely came to God very raw and honest. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know why I haven't been feeling myself lately or what's been going on in my life, but I just need your guidance right now. And he definitely pulled through for your girl. So appreciative and grateful for that. But back to what you were saying about answering your question of like, how did I figure that out? One was management. I wanted that for years. Finally found the right person for me. So I thought like, okay, that's the first thing. And then creative direction from you helped immensely in terms of like having a setup, having somebody like more minds are better than one.
Yeah.
The fact that I've been having just my own mind to create everything, it's a little crazy from what I've heard, from when I've talked to like other peers or like other project managers in particular. I had a recent conversation with one, and she was saying like, it's insane that you've grown the platforms that you have 100% by yourself thus far. Like, she was like, if me or any other influencer peer of yours were to hear this, we'd probably just give you a hug. Like, are you okay? Because she was like, she knows what it takes. Like, it's insane. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't okay. That was the problem. And I think that's the thing too. Like, and I kind of tie it into possibly the strong Black woman narrative, because a lot of times we don't want to ask for help and we think that we're supposed to do it all. Like, I should be able to do all of this.
Yeah.
And it's not realistic. And it wasn't until I started kind of like paying a little bit more attention to some peers of mine that I really look up to in terms of how they're navigating their brands and businesses thus far. They end up having a team, a personal assistant, a project manager. So when I heard that stuff, I'm like, oh, that's what I need. That's where I'm at in my life right now. And that's more than likely why my platforms, they still grow, they still flourish, but not as much as they could if I wasn't stretched so thin doing everything 100% on my own.
And you can stop me if this is too far, but do you think that part of your relationship with your money had to do with creating a team because you felt like investing yourself was technically losing money initially?
No, I'm glad you definitely brought that up, actually, because that's another thing that I talk about with you a lot. Just like what your experience was as a kid, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever, has so much impact on who you are as an adult. In your adulthood, and it shows its face in a lot of different ways. So financially speaking, without being too like put my whole life on blast. Like, I grew up with a single parent, as a lot of y'all know. I wouldn't say we struggled. We made it, like, not we, I should say my mom. My mom made ends meet, but it wasn't like we were rich. I wasn't born with like a silver spoon in my mouth. Like, essentially, I did kind of see her struggle as a Black single parent mother in particular, raising me. So I think because of that, it's tied into, it's not that I have a toxic relationship with money because I save, but it's like,
I think to the point of toxicity.
To the point, exactly. Because Josh brought that up, because it's not like I did not have the money to outsource a year ago or even 2 years ago. It was more so like, I'm so terrified of poverty and struggling in the way that I saw my mom struggle, that I try to hold on to it almost too tight, to the point where it is toxic. Yeah. And that's something that I'm constantly trying to like unteach myself and relearn a different way of handling. It helps a lot to be married to the hydrated hero, soon to be married to the hydrated hero, because your financial literacy path that you're on right now has already opened my eyes in so many different ways in terms of how I can make my money work for me. Yeah. And my money can make money for me, and like all of that in terms of saving, investing, outsourcing and stuff. Yeah. So a lot of those conversations came from conversations I had with Josh, but even being able to recognize like, oh, okay, it's like I do, but I don't have a healthy relationship with money. Sometimes when people, I feel like, think of unhealthy relationships with money, they think somebody's spending entirely too much on things that aren't, beneficial or whatever, or materialistic. I'm not even that type of person. I actually
there's multiple ways of cutting the money relationship. You can have one end of the spectrum where it's like someone hoards money to themselves, where it's like I can't afford to let it go because I'm scared because I feel like I'd spend $1, I lost $1,000, kind of thing. But then there's people on the other end of the spectrum that have no idea like what the difference is between a want and a need, and they just buy everything that's in front of them. Yeah. So like having a mixture, and I feel like you've started to come into yourself in terms of like reinvesting in your brand. Yeah. I don't think you did enough of that. No. You invested in equipment and stuff like that, which was cool. It upgraded the quality. Right. But it never upgraded your mental health. Exactly. And that was your best investment. I think you investing in a team was your best investment yet.
Do you notice that I'm lighter?
Your overall happiness, lightness, you seem way less stressed. And I mean, you were still pleasant to be around. I'm not going to say like you were just unpleasant to be around or anything like that. But like I can definitely feel a weight lifted off of your shoulders, which sort of lifts the weight off mine, because we're a unit. And when I feel like you're being weighed down, like, and I get weighed down because I almost like I empathize so hard with you, like I want to carry that weight with you. Yeah. But like,
you did though.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of why I jumped in, was like, yeah, I'm just going to jump in and help you out with these brand deals. Whatever. But I feel like now you learning that reinvesting, like your money is a tool. It's literally a tool. It's not a marker of anything. Having a certain dollar amount isn't a marker of anything. It's like milestones, but like at the end of the day, the reason why you have money is to use it to benefit your overall life.
And I was not using it as a tool.
You were using it to have it.
Yeah, to have it. Just constant safety net, because I grew like,
and I mean, great safety net. I mean, shoot, like great safety net. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like you can pull from that and put dollars where your hard-earned hours were at. Yeah. At one point, we worked 9 to 5s to get money. At this point, we can put money for other people who work 9 to 5s.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, it's also when I think about the way I save my money and like my financial goals and stuff, as I share with you a lot of it isn't just about me or about us. It's also like I plan to get to a point where I can completely take care of my mother financially, move her into a better place. Like I have so many goals. So all of that is eating at the back of my head as well. Of like when I'm talking about the times before I started like outsourcing and looking to like build a team, I'm like, I got to save this for X, Y, and Z. Even when it came to getting a management, do you remember a year like 2 and 3, maybe even 4? I was like, nah, because management takes 20% of every brand deal. But what I didn't realize back then is more brand deals will come in when I have somebody else. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's like you said, I have $100. Yeah. And I don't want to give up 20 of those $100. Right. But if you gave 20 of those $100 up, you get 1,000.
Could quadruple.
So now you get 800 instead of that 100 that you was holding on to so doggone tight. That's what happens when you put a percentage on it. and get somebody else invested in your success.
Exactly.
Like your manager is invested in your success, which means she's going to do her will because she knows when you get paid.
When I win, she wins. We win. So that's where I'm at right now, like work related wise, and I'm in a really good place. Things aren't perfect yet. Things aren't like we haven't completely found our flow, but we are in the process of it. You okay?
Yeah, my bad.
We're definitely in the process of it. So that in itself is exciting because I'm stepping into a new territory that I've never been in before, but it feels good.
Yeah.
The reason I say ish is just because for the last 6 years, I make 6 years tomorrow. Oh my gosh. But yeah, for the last 6 years, I've been my own boss. So I've told myself what needs to be done, X, Y, and Z, and I get it done. Now I have others looking for me to like, what do you need done? What needs to be done this week, blah, 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 that I have to communicate with. So that's like the adjustment period that I'm going through right now.
Now you're going into bosshood because as a boss, you need vision.
Yeah.
You need a clear picture of what you want for your brand. Otherwise, now you have these employees that are like,
what are we going to do?
Yeah, what are we going to do? They need to trust your vision, so you got to trust your vision. And it's all a growing process. And I feel like your communication in that has grown exponentially. And to be honest, y'all, there was an adjustment period for us too.
Yeah.
When I became creative director, there was an adjustment period. I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows because like, you know, I had a way of doing things, she had a way of doing things, and then like I had to one, take a humble piece of pie. I was the creative director for your brand.
Yeah.
It's not my brand. So like the way I was going about my creative directorness was like, oh, this is the shot. This is what needs to be done. This is the shot.
And if I'd be like, oh, I think I want
I think I want this way. And it was like, nah, I'm not seeing it. but again, you know, I've learned how to. Well, I've learned to go back into my servant leadership mode. Like, in order to be a good leader, sometimes you have to learn how to be a good server. And I feel like that's kind of the role that I'm stepping into now. Just helping you with your creative content. I like to serve the purpose of watching you flourish on the internet. Like, every time I see you post, I'm like, golly, that's some good stuff.
Content, yeah.
It's good content. And then like all the times we go out and I'll be like taking pictures with the phone or whatever. I look at the photos. I'm like, yeah, these are pretty cool. But then like after
Is that why you be stalking my Instagram sometimes? He be on my Instagram sometimes.
I be on her Instagram a lot. I ain't gonna cap to you.
I be seeing him.
I be like going through her stuff like, golly, this is some good shit.
Thank you.
And I mean, like now it's even kind of more fulfilling because the more we team up on stuff, I'm like, yo, I was a part of this.
You were a part of it, 100%.
This was cool.
100%.
And like the angles we be getting now, like
you be doing your thing.
And
I think this conversation even started from you saying like we're a hell of a team.
We are.
Which we are. Like legit. The last, especially on Instagram in particular, the last 3 or 4 brand pieces of content, branded sponsored content that y'all have seen. So 1800, Klarna, Ray-Bans.
You did Pine Sol,
that went on TikTok.
Yeah.
But that was like this here. So it's beautiful to work, honestly, with my bestie / future husband.
It's the best job I could have signed up for.
Now that we are figuring out like a nice, is it a happy medium you feel like?
We've worked all right, so you have different phases to business.
Yeah.
You have like the meet and greet. That's when you get to know each other. Been past that.
Right.
Storming, which is where you're like finding out all the buttons.
Okay.
And then you have norming, which is like, okay, we understand everybody's stuff. We understand all the buttons, the rules and regulations within this game. And then performing, which is where I think we're headed towards. So we've already stormed. We got that out the way.
Well, we still performed.
Through all these things. Stormed and performed, which was crazy. But now I feel like we've come to this normalcy where it's like, okay, I know how far I can take my creativity. I know how far I can push those boundaries.
Yeah.
In a respectful manner.
Because the thing is, too, like, it's not like he's ever you've never disrespected me in the role. It's more so just like, if you were a random stranger that I hired for this position, there's no way in hell you talk back to me based off what I just told you I wanted.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like figuring out that adjustment of like, I need you to respect me as being the CEO of this brand, just in the sense of like, when other people are around, as I continue to build this team for my brand, I don't want other people seeing that my future husband, creative director, even they might not even know you're my future husband, but like, you know what I mean? Like
that relationship
just you as that exactly
needs to stay like
very business and personal need to be separate,
especially when we start bringing the team into together. Like the whole team function. Our dynamic is unique, right? So like we can have blunt conversations with each other and be fine. Yeah. Someone else sees that, then they feel like they have the right
to talk to me,
to talk to her like she's not the CEO and she is the CEO. Like, get fired quick. Like, but again, it's like
it was an adjustment period.
Yeah, it's little nuances of like the industry that we're trying to figure out as we grow together. But I feel like it was a quick phase. I think we had a conversation directly after we got done shooting. And
literally,
we were just like, hey,
I was like,
next time around, this
X,
is
Y, and Z.
this ain't it. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And sometimes, you know, pride be hitting hard, but like you got to know when you was wrong, and I was wrong. I was wrong. I definitely tried to, you know, take the reins real quick. I was
the whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, you need help? I got you. I had a whole vision. For her content.
Right.
And then she was like, well, I don't like it. And I think I got offended when you didn't like the ideas that I had gotten. But then I
liked a lot of them though.
I know you liked a lot,
but not everything.
Yeah, but you didn't like everything.
Everything, yeah.
And then that's when the pride kicked in. Like, oh, she ain't messing with what I got. She ain't messing with it. It's good stuff.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that is actually, it's interesting because it also is like taking one for sure the personal out of it, but also like I think you just said the ego and the pride, because just because I didn't care for something, it's because it didn't align with my vision. It doesn't mean that your vision wasn't still dope. Yeah. So it's kind of just that type of thing of like understanding we're always going to maintain that mutual level of respect for each other and each other's opinions. But like even me, and I think I had told you that too in that conversation. It was like, you got to understand, for me, this is a role that I'm stepping in for the first time. And I, even as your future wife, don't ever want to disrespect you by now being the CEO of a brand that you are contributing to. But it was like, it's so interesting. It's like, how do I make sure that I always maintain this respect for, like, I respect you as my man, but it's also like, this is my brand. I have the right to feel like say what I want to say.
When we get into our stride of things, I think it's basically just flipping that switch. It's like knowing when you're clocked in and knowing when you're clocked out.
I mean, we've been good ever since that talk,
ever since we've been, like, every time we jumped into content, like the next piece of content, we had great times making it.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But it was about giving each other grace, I feel like, as we are in this adjustment period. Because, again, we obviously work together now. And I still don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like you work for me. You're just a part of my team, my personal brand's team.
I really don't feel like I work for you.
You don't work for me.
I feel like I just help.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But your role is for sure creative director. Like,
when you come to me, like, I get that. But like most times, I'm just doing my husbandly duties. Out here helping where I need to help.
So I feel like I've talked majority of this, but that's kind of what's been going on with me. So overall, I would say things are in a very, very good place. Things are happening. Good. We're in the happenings phase right now of life. So I'm very happy.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
I appreciate you.
I guess we can kind of left turn. Honestly, I think this was great. We cut this right here. Like, honestly, it was nice and refreshing to hear. Yeah. So, I mean, on my part, follow me on my YouTube channel. If you want to hear more about me, follow me on Hydrated Hero, because I'm keeping you guys up to date with my journey as I grow. I feel like I've just been building upon discipline, trying to map out my life in a very micromanaged way, which is so new for me. So new for me. I don't know what this Aquarius life has to offer, but maybe some other Aquariuses can relate or something.
Supposedly it's y'all's era right now.
Yeah,
Aquarius.
Mostly we're in the age of the Aquarius, which I'm waiting for that to kick in.
You don't think it has?
I mean, I don't know. What does it mean? What does it call for? Like, where's my reward?
I feel like the work ethic that you came into this year is definitely different from the energy that you had last year.
But I mean, like, ever since we was like born, we like transitioned into the age of the Aquarius. So this should have been like an ongoing thing.
I'm done with you.
But either way, regardless. Yeah, I've been trying to, kind of develop a plan or a system of how I attack my day, because I've learned so much about myself. Ever since trying to create discipline in life, I've learned so much about how much I lack it. And the best way to change, anything is to start identifying everything.
Yeah, this is what he's on now.
Like,
go ahead and tell
identify everything. So, like, I'm reading this book, Atomic Habits. It was so cool. They talked about how your environment can shape your mentality around stuff, like a whole bunch of stuff. So, like, I'm trying to cultivate my environment to something conducive. My relationship to the couch is chill, Netflix, relax. I can't sit on there and edit a video. That's not the relationship I have with that couch.
Okay.
Relationship I have with that table or this kitchen is cooking. I'm not working in the kitchen. It's a distraction.
Really?
Which is why I've now come to the realization that me going downstairs to those little cubbies where there's no distractions is the perfect place for me to start doing stuff like trading or reading. There's no other cues as to what my other habits are.
And when you step into that room, your relationship with it is grinding.
My relationship with that room is grinding. Yeah.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
I've been doing a whole lot of that, and I've been doing a whole lot of assessing, like, what my day-to-day habits are. Like, the other day I tracked, like, pretty much everything I did. Got up, brushed my teeth, went to the gym. Even the bad stuff. Scroll for an hour.
You did?
I did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Didn't like it. Didn't like it. But I had to call it out. You have to look it in the eyes. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll just keep, you don't see it, it'll just happen. Because habits are subconscious for the most part.
Yeah.
So if you have a habit of picking up your phone, just how many times have you found yourself like chilling?
Entirely too often.
And then all of a sudden your phone in your hand, you're on Insta.
I don't want to cut you off, though.
No, you good.
The last thing I forgot to mention that I also feel like has contributed to this new lighter, happier EC.
No phone.
I haven't really been I don't really know what's going on in anybody's life. I don't know the last thing the Shade Room posted or anything like that.
And that's fine.
I know that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm amen to you. I'm amen to you, man.
Okay. I'm just trying to say EC last year did, though.
Yeah.
And that off rip is the clear problem and difference between where I was at. I mean, not the only, but a very clear difference as to where I was at and why versus where I'm at now and stuff. And the last thing, too, because I want you to get back to you, I feel like my mentality with that really started shifting when I had that, like, 3-hour FaceTime call with my brother. And he, like, this man grinds, tunnel vision all his life. But in particular, he had said this quote that I immediately had to write down because we were talking about scrolling and I was kind of telling him where my head was at, my mental health and stuff at that time. And he was like, the way I look at it, if it ain't making me money, I ain't fucking with that shit. And that just stuck with me so hard because scrolling does not make me money. It's not benefiting me in any way, shape, or form, looking at other people's lives, comparing and all that other stuff. So I was like, that's so real. So now anytime I almost start scrolling aimlessly when I have other stuff to do, I remember that if it ain't making me money, I ain't with that. And that's what stuck with me. So sorry, continue.
I think there is duality to that statement. I agree with it, but I also believe that there's
I mean, it's a very harsh.
Yeah. When you're in grind mode, I feel like you have two phases of life. You have a building mode, and then you have like a enjoyment phase. Right? Building phase. That's a great mentality. You know, if it ain't making me money, get it out of my way. It's a distraction because I'm trying to get to I'm trying to get to this point where I don't have to think like.
But is there a point? Because to me, all aspects of life is a journey. Because some people would say where I'm at right now, I should be okay based off what you're saying. I should be okay to scroll, but I was not.
Yeah, but I think. I'm more so talking about from the statement of if it's not making me money, I don't want it.
Okay, maybe it's did the money part throw you off?
I feel
it's not supposed to be that.
I can say that I agree with the statement because it's a good mantra.
It's a good mantra.
It's a good grinding mantra to live by. If it ain't making me money, then
I ain't effing with it. Okay, I see what you mean. The conversation was strictly because of the scrolling aspect. Yeah. So I get what you mean by saying that statement in a general form of life no, I'm not saying that. It's a good mantra. And that's kind of the mantra that I've kind of been on in terms of how I'm handling my work life. Yeah. Because my work is social media. So when I'm scrolling on social media, it's interrupting my bag.
Because I feel like I've actually been on that side of the spectrum.
What?
If it ain't making me money or if it's not in the pursuit of money, then I ain't like, look how much time I've spent on like watching charts, trading, deep diving on stuff. But I missed out on things that don't necessarily make me money, but like interacting with my friends and family, reaching out. That outreach, it's not really making me any money. You know what I'm saying? But
maybe we should change the word money, because even when I think about like, if it isn't benefiting me, like, yes, like contributing to my higher self, then I ain't effing with it. I feel like, because money, I don't want it to come off like it's super materialistic or like financially driven. It was just kind of like a cool thing to say.
Yeah, no,
that's how he
don't
said
knock
it.
the mantra.
But
cool.
No, the mantra's solid. I'm gonna keep rocking with it. But I'm saying, if we wanted to re-rock it in the sense of what I literally mean by it is like, if it's not contributing to my higher self, then I'm not fucking with it. Yeah.
That's
where I'm at.
Yeah, that's the life one right there.
Yeah, that's the life one.
If it ain't fucking with your higher self,
then don't F with it. Yeah. And that can even because I'm talking about, I'm scrolling on social media and y'all like literally follow and support us on social media. So I'm not saying for you to just stop effing with Josh and Isi, but I'm hoping that was kind of our individual goals as well as our couple goal, like our mission for social media, for us to be contributing something to you guys, some form of value, like whether it be through our conversations or the type of relationship, the healthy relationship that we try to display on the internet. So it's kind of like,
we're at this point, like if you're going to scroll and you're going to watch us, we're going to make sure that you at least walk out better.
Yes.
You're not just going to walk out entertained and empty.
Yeah. That's
like,
the biggest thing.
I feel like a lot of social media is like empty entertainment, and you don't feel
that's real.
You don't leave
empty entertainment.
You don't leave full.
Yeah,
it's almost like you leave hungry every time, and that's what keeps you coming back. You left Instagram hungry 10 minutes ago, and you came back because you're still hungry. But like when I'm full, when I get some motivation on Instagram, I'm like, I'm taking it. I'm off.
Yeah,
gone.
That's real.
Phone off to the side. I'm
that's
full.
Real. Yeah,
like you gotta aim for content that fulfills you, like fills your soul, kind of thing.
It
otherwise,
brings value.
Yeah. Otherwise, you wasting time. You dead. I can't even sugarcoat it. You dead ass wasting time.
And that's how I was feeling. Remember last year, even with my rebrand,
and
I was feeling
but
like
it was messing. Not only was it messing up with your time, but it was messing with your confidence.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have confidence issues, let me give you the key way to fix confidence issues. Get the hell off of social media. If you feel like you're self-conscious or you feel like you're not good enough, get the hell off of social media. It will never make you feel better because you're in this. It's called dang, I wish I could remember the word from the book. Autocatalytic. Autocatalytic. The process repeats itself. You feel bad because you're not like the people on Instagram. So in order to assuage that pain, you scroll some more because like you don't have the energy to go for it. And then it repeats the cycle.
Yeah.
These things build off of themselves.
Yep.
Which is a crazy thing because a lot of stuff builds off itself. If you think about bad habits of eating, you eat bad because you feel bad. Then you feel bad because you look bad. So what do you do when you feel bad? You eat again.
Eating, yeah.
That's
real.
a sick cycle.
What is it called again?
Autocatalytic.
Autocatalytic. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Because I was going through that as well last year, though. Seeing other people's content. Oh, my content's not as good. Oh, blah. I wish I was doing this with my,
and then you go right back to finding
exactly.
Finding more reasons to feel that way.
Exactly. And not being proactive in what I currently have going for myself. So
it's a sick cycle.
My biggest thing was taking my power back was my room transformation and stuff. So
listen to Josh and Isi. We're pulling you out of the matrix. Okay. We're literally take the red pill.
Yeah. Was the
red pill or the blue pill?
I don't know.
I didn't know.
But ultimately, I think they get what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like, try. I mean, hopefully you guys enjoy this type of content, but also make sure that you're taking out time for you.
Your life content.
Your life.
Your actual life
your
content.
Your actual freaking life, bro.
Your life is hella content. Like, your life.
Yeah. That is something that I kind of regret. And we kind of talk about this a little often, too, in terms of, like, when we moved here in March, I don't feel like I really maximized.
Nope. We didn't.
Until like the end of last year.
Yep.
Where we're at right now.
Yep.
Because I was stuck in the autocatalytic.
Yep.
Of looking at other people's lives and stuff. And I'm up here blessed as hell, waking up here every day and stuff. So, man, y'all, we always talk about comparison is the thief of all joy, but it's 100% true. There's nothing almost more factual than that, in my opinion. But I'm sorry, we definitely deterred from you. Please go back.
Well, actually, we're pulling up on time.
But still, we want to know. The people want to know about Josh.
I know the people want to know. But hey, I guess that's a reason for them to have to tune back in.
Oh my gosh.
That's another reason.
Interesting.
We are pulling up on like the 45-minute marker, but I have lunch date with I have a lunch
date with a
friend. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to that. But I honestly enjoyed this. I like hearing you talk about your life. You're on the business side of things. Like this is a new coming for you. You know, a lot's happening for this young lady. Okay, a lot. I mean, a lot's happening for both of us. Yes. But like, I feel like you're taking that. I feel like you were nervous about this next step into boss womanhood.
Yeah.
And like you still a little about it, but like it's a good step. It's a big step, it's a big role. But the cool thing is it's not like you have big shoes to fill. They're your own shoes. It's not like you're taking over somebody else's CEO spot. This is your journey. So I encourage you to just turtle pace it, play at your pace. Yeah. And keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great.
Thank you.
You're doing great. I'm proud of you. I'm proud to be on your team.
Thank you, baby.
Creative director.
Hey, love it.
But that is all we have for you guys for this video. Really hope you guys enjoyed.
Definitely check out Hydrated Heroes YouTube channel though to hear more. Like you didn't get everything we were kind of planning on for you to get from this. So like, don't you have a video?
I have a video dropping today.
Oh,
so
well, there you go.
Hopefully it comes out before this, but it will go up today. I'm not taking no for an excuse. Like I'll edit it. Even if it goes up at 8, it will go up today.
Okay.
But it's my Motivational Monday. I try and do them every Monday. I missed last Monday. A lot of stuff happened. That is what it is. Not holding myself accountable. I'm unapologetically posting, especially on Hydrated Hero. And we're probably going to start unapologetically posting on Josh and Isi because, you know,
that's a whole nother.
It's a whole. Maybe we need to do another quality conversation. If you guys want another quality conversation tomorrow,
honestly, we didn't get to talk about half of.
We
what
really didn't get to
today.
dive deep into our bag, but I felt like this conversation was necessary. There's a lot of young women that watch you for inspiration, and they need to kind of like get that. You know, like they need that.
Thank you.
But yes, if you guys want more quality conversations from us, just let us know because honestly, this is probably the easiest video we can crank out to you guys.
I'm done.
But other than that, stay tuned. If you don't already know, Hydrated Hero, YouTube and Instagram. EC Mame Deco, all socials.
Honestly, I'm so lucky, y'all. All socials.
Literally
Hydrated Hero on all socials for you too, though, right?
Hydrated Hero on social too. Hey, okay. Hydrated Hero, EC Mame Deco. Together, we are Josh and EC. Now, you can follow one of us. You can follow two of us. Come on.
Oh, my God.
I love the tattoo lip.
Since when? This man is transformed.
I have.
Oh, my God.
It's a term of endearment. You can follow all three of us. You might as well follow all three of us because we are happy, healthy, and hydrated on all three. But other than that, y'all, until we meet again, peace, love, head grease, and we out. Hey, 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 subscribe. Hey, 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 new